Fox 5 Health News, and teens are now using a technique called dripping to get more of an intense effect from e-cigarettes, and experts say that it could be dangerous.
All right, joining us now, Fox 5 medical contributor Dr. Devi Parapal. Devi, I hate when I don't know what the teens are up to. They're abusing legal products and trying to get a bigger buzz. I've never heard of this whole thing, dripping.
I know, I'm reading about it myself because I'm not a smoker. I haven't used e-cigarettes, right? Sure. But the idea here is with e-cigarettes, you have sort of a coil and a wick, and you're basically adding this flavor, so you're turning it into a vapor, right? You're turning that flavor into vapor. But here with dripping, what you're actually doing is putting it closer to the coil, sort of bypassing the wick, so you get a stronger flavor, you get to switch flavors more easily. So that's the reason why people might do this. But the reason why it's bad is because it actually releases more chemicals out there. So formaldehyde and other things that are known to be more toxic, right? So for teens or for adults, they're still getting exposed to these more dangerous substances. Now, for teens, we have other concerns about e-cigarettes, regardless of dripping, right? But the studies show that about 25% or a quarter of teens are actually using this method. I mean, with e-cigarettes, some of the controversy is that if you're a smoker, some people say, well, if you can transition to e-cigarettes, which have the nicotine.
That's better for you than actually smoking, but you don't want to go the other way and start with e-cigarettes and go
exactly. So that's where the controversy is. And of course, a lot of the e-cigarette makers, they won't say that, because if they say that it's used as some kind of health device or health aid, then they have to go through the FDA and all kinds of other regulations, right? And then to play devil's advocate for 1 second, even though I'm not advocating going and doing this, you know, we know that e-cigarettes have nicotine, right? But in cigarettes, what you worry about is the tobacco for the most part. So the nicotine is the addictive part, and then the tobacco and the tar are what's harming you for the most part. I mean, nicotine might have some bad effects, but not as much, it seems, as the others. So this has nicotine, so you're kind of craving it more and more, so you may become habituated to it and want more, but we don't know what all the other side effects are. So far, because it doesn't have tobacco and tar, it doesn't seem to have the same profile as the other things, but still, you know, a lot more information.
I guess doctors are hesitant to say it's better for you vaping than smoking cigarettes or whatever, but
but be cautious and dripping, avoid that with the toxic
substances. All right, just quickly, how do you know when it's the right time to have your kid actually stay home from school? Is it enough to warrant a day out and miss all the work and all that? What's the criteria with that?
I mean, I think, you know, if you want to be cautious, better to keep the kid home, but in general, the things you look at are fevers, rashes, dehydration, exactly, right? So,
well, you're not supposed to send your kid to school if they've had a fever within 24 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
To be fever-free.
Exactly. You don't want to harm the other kids, and even for them, they'll burn up a lot of their fluids,
how much, what are we calling a fever? Like, how much over the normal?
It varies. Some people say 100.4, some people say 101, but generally in that range. And you look at the person's symptoms, too. So if someone can't take fluids, if they're vomiting all the time, if they have diarrhea, this is not a person who should go to school, both for their own safety, so they don't get dehydrated, and also for the other kids, right? Because these things spread like fire, right?
Understood. So. Very well. Dr. Devi, we appreciate it. No dripping.
He doesn't like it because it makes him feel old, that he doesn't know what they're doing.
I was like, oh my God, man, I'm out of the loop. I don't know what dripping is.
He's obsessed with being relevant.
I really like to stay on the cutting edge of vaping.